Mike, why the long face?
I feel confused about when to use if and when to use unless.
Don't worry, Teacher Z will help us in this lesson. Hopefully, you won't have trouble with the conditionals, if and unless afterwards.
What will happen if you don't study today? Will you pass or fail? And what does it mean when we say unless you study? Today, we are going to master conditional clauses in English, and by the end of this lesson, you will confidently use if and unless in real life situations. Welcome to Sepia Language Lab with Teacher Z. Our objectives are defining conditional clauses, identifying them, then using them. So let's dive in. Conditional clauses are sentences that talk about possibility and results. They show what happens if a condition is met. We use them every day, at home, in school, at work, and even in conversations with friends. An example is as follows: if you study hard, which is our condition, you will pass. Our results: if he calls, you should go. When using if, we use if and it is in present tense, we use will plus the verb. For example, if I study, I will pass. Now, let's talk about unless. This is where many learners get confused. Unless is normally used in negative conditions. For example, unless you study, you will fail. It is negative and means if you don't study, you will not pass. The second one, if you study, you will pass. So it means that if there is studying, then you will pass. Remember, unless is used for a negative condition. It shows that something will not happen if a condition is not met. For example, you cannot enter unless you have an ID. The second one, I won't go out unless it stops raining. To compare, if shows a positive condition. For example, if you study, you will pass. If you hurry, you will catch the bus. So, for the positive condition to happen, there must be a positive result at the end. On the other hand, unless stands for a negative condition. Think if not. For example, unless you study, you will fail. Unless you hurry, you will miss the bus. Remember, both express conditions but in opposite ways. At this point, feel free to pause the video so you can go through those questions and try them out yourself. Take your time. Great job. Drop in the comments how many you got.
Now I understand. Listen to this, Sophie. Unless I practice using conditionals in sentences, I will not know how to use them.
I'm glad you've now got a better understanding on the conditionals, if and unless. We should listen more to Sepia Language Lab to improve our English skills.
I'm so excited to tune in for the next lesson. Thank you, Sophie and Teacher Z.
Great job. Today we learned that if shows a condition and a result, unless means if not. Both are very important in everyday English. Practice these in your daily conversations and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more lessons from Sepia Language Lab.